Security Wassenaar Arrangement. News: The Wassenaar Arrangement is encountering difficulties.
Security Wassenaar Arrangement. News: The Wassenaar Arrangement is encountering difficulties in keeping pace with cloud technology, necessitating revisions to its control lists and enforcement methods. About Wassenaar Arrangement. It is a multilateral export control regime that governs the trade of conventional arms and dual-use goods and technologies. It was established in 1996, succeeding the Cold War-era Coordinating Committee for Multilateral Export Controls, COCOM. The name Wassenaar comes from a suburb of The Hague, Netherlands, where the agreement for this multilateral cooperation was finalized in 1995. Objective: the arrangement aims to enhance transparency and promote responsible transfers of conventional arms, dual-use goods, and related technologies, thereby preventing actions that could destabilize global security. Membership: there are 42 member countries. India became a member in 2017, adopting its control lists within its Special Chemicals, Organisms, Materials, Equipment, and Technologies (SCOMIT) framework. Headquarters: Vienna, Austria. Functioning: the Wassenaar Arrangement functions by sharing information among member countries about conventional and dual-use technologies that are exported or restricted from countries outside the group. It maintains updated lists of chemicals, technologies, processes, and products that have military significance. Armed Forces Special Powers Act. News: the central government has declared the whole state of Manipur, except for areas under 13 police stations, as a disturbed area under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958 for an additional 6 months. About the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958. It is a law passed by Parliament granting the Armed Forces special powers and legal immunity to maintain public order in designated disturbed areas. Disturbed area is Section 3 of AFSBA. A one officially notified under any whole or part of a state where conditions have become dangerous or disturbed, necessitating the deployment of armed forces to assist civil authorities, can be declared as such. Power to declare a central government. The disturbed area lies with the governor of the state, administrator of the union territory, or the. They can notify the entire state/UT or specific parts of it as a disturbed area. Powers granted to the armed forces in disturbed areas under AFSBA include prohibiting gatherings of 5 or more persons in a specified area, arresting individuals without a warrant if there is reasonable suspicion, entering or searching premises without a warrant, destroying arms caches, fortified positions used for attacks, or training camps of armed volunteers. States where AFSBA is currently applicable: Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Tripura. Anti-Naxal operations. News: recently, security forces have carried out several anti-Naxal operations. Anti-Naxal operations in India. Operation Black Forest, the largest anti-Naxal operation conducted on the Karaguda Hill, located along the Chhattisgarh-Telangana border. Mission Songkalp, recently launched on the Karaguda Hill and adjoining hilly areas along the Chhattisgarh-Telangana border. Operation Weed Out. News: under the Pan-India Operation Weed Out, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI, seized 108.67 kilograms of hydroponic weed in 20 days. About Operation Weed Out. It is an ongoing nationwide anti-drug enforcement drive targeting hydroponic weed smuggling based on specific intelligence. Conducted by Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI, India's primary anti-smuggling and economic intelligence agency under the Ministry of Finance, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC. Objectives: take firm action against drug syndicates smuggling hydroponic weed. Under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances, NDPS, Act, 1985. Support the government of India's vision of a Nasha Mukt Bharat. Integrated Air Defense Weapon System, IADS. News: the Ministry of Defense, MOD, announced that the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, has successfully conducted the first flight tests of an Integrated Air Defense Weapon System, IEDWS. About Integrated Air Defense Weapon System, IEDWS, it is a multi-layered air defense system developed by DRDO, consisting of 3 major components. Quick Reaction Surface-to-Air Missiles, QRSAM, developed by DRDO. Very Short-Range Air Defense System, SHORADS, developed by Research Center Emirat, RCI, Hyderabad, DRDO. High-Power Laser-Based Directed Energy Weapon, DW, developed by Center for High Energy Systems and Sciences, CHESS, Hyderabad, DRDO. The integrated operation and command control of these weapon systems is managed through a centralized command and control center developed by the Defense Research and Development Laboratory, DRDL. Hyderabad. Components of IEDWS KRSAM, a short-range surface-to-air missile, SAM, system, provides protective shield to moving armored columns against enemy aerial attacks. Configured on highly mobile platforms, equipped with search and track capability and can fire during short halts. Range: 3 to 30 kilometers. System ensemble: automated command and control system, 2 radars, active array battery surveillance radar and active array battery multifunction radar, and 1 launcher. Both radars offer 360 degrees coverage with search on move and track on move capability. SHORADS, a 4th generation, advanced, miniaturized man-portable air defense system, MANPAT. Usable by Army, Navy, and Air Force. Range: 300 m, 6 kilometers, capable of neutralizing drones and multiple aerial threats. DW land-based, vehicle-mounted laser DW MK2A. Can defeat fixed-wing UAVs and swarm drones, causing structural damage and disabling sensors. Range, less than 3 kilometers. With this, India joins the exclusive global club possessing such systems. Strategic significance. Neutralize aerial threats designed to within a 30 kilometers range, low speed, fixed wing to rotary wing aircraft. Seen as a stepping stone towards Mission Sudarshan Chakra, a comprehensive defense shield. INS Udayagiri and INS Himjairai News. The Indian Navy has recently commissioned Udayagiri and Himjairai, the latest Project 17A multi-mission stealth frigates, at Naval Base Visakhapatnam. About INS Udayagiri and INS Himjairai Project 17A. The P-17A class frigates are designed with enhanced stealth features, improved hull design, and upgraded weapon systems compared to the earlier P-17 Shivalik class. 7 ships INS Nilgirai, a total of are being built under this project. INS Udayagiri, INS Himjairai, INS Tarajairai, INS Mahendragiri, INS Dunajiri, and INS Vintajiri. Builders. Udayagiri, Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited MDL, Mumbai. Himjairai, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, GRSE, Kolkata. Design, both designed in-house by the Indian Navy's Warship Design Bureau, WDB. Deployment, once commissioned, they will join the Eastern Fleet, boosting India's maritime strength in the Indian Ocean region, IFAR. Key features. Propulsion, modern CODOG combined diesel or gas system. Technology, equipped with integrated platform management system and advanced indigenous weapons and sensors. Indigenization, about 75% indigenous content, supported by numerous MSMEs, aligned with Atmanirbhar Bharat. Delivery, Udayagiri is the fastest ship of her class to be delivered post-launch, owing to modular construction methods. Capabilities, enhanced stealth, weapons, sensors, and ability to undertake the full spectrum of maritime missions in blue water conditions. Mission Sudarshan Chakra. News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the launch of Mission Sudarshan Chakra on August 15, 2025, during his Independence Day address from the Red Fort. About Mission Sudarshan Chakra. It is India's ambitious plan to build a multi-layered integrated air and missile defense shield. The project aims to provide a complete nationwide security cover by the year 2035. The mission is designed to provide security to all critical and strategic locations across India. It will protect sensitive defense facilities, nuclear installations, and vital national infrastructure. Civilian areas such as hospitals, railways, and centers of faith will also receive protection under the shield. Key features. The shield will consist of multiple layers of protection using land-based, sea-based, and space-based systems. It will employ advanced early warning and tracking sensors integrated with space assets for real-time threat detection. A strong command and control system will ensure rapid decision-making and coordinated responses. The system will rely on advanced interceptor missiles capable of neutralizing aircraft, drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles. Mission Sudarshan Chakra is not limited to defensive measures, but will also integrate offensive strike capabilities. The system will incorporate new weapons such as the 500-kilometer range quasi-ballistic missile Prolong. A new 1,000-kilometer subsonic long-range land attack cruise missile will be deployed for targeted strikes. The strike range of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile will be increased from 450 kilometers to 800 kilometers. Mission Sudarshan Chakra is conceptually similar to Israel's Iron Dome and the United States' proposed Golden Dome. However, unlike these systems, India's shield will operate on a much larger scale and will include integrated offensive weaponry. To the point weapons/systems in news, India, Pralay missile. Context, DRDO recently carried out 2 back-to-back successful flight tests of the Pralay missile off the Odisha coast. About Pralay missile type, surface-to-surface, short-range, solid propellant, quasi-ballistic missile capable of hypersonic speed, above Mach 5. Quasi-ballistic feature. Unlike conventional ballistic missiles, it follows a low trajectory and can alter its path or perform maneuvers mid-flight. Development. Designed indigenously by the Hyderabad-based research center IMARAT, DRDO, with support from other DRDO labs. Range, 150 to 500 kilometers, Akash Prime. Context. India successfully used Akash Prime to destroy 2 high-speed aerial unmanned targets at high altitude in Ladakh. About Akash Prime, it is the latest edition of the surface-to-air missile defense system. It is developed by the DRDO and produced by Bharat Electronics Limited, BEL, and Bharat Dynamics Limited, BDL. It is the 4th upgraded version of the Akash missiles defense system. The first 3 were Akash MK-1, Akash 1S, and Akash NG. Range. It can engage targets at an altitude of 18 kilometers at a distance of 30 kilometers away. Agni 5 ballistic context. India has successfully test-fired its missile. Intermediate range ballistic missile Agni 5 from the integrated test range at Chandipur, Odisha. About Agni 5 ballistic missile. It is a land-based nuclear-capable long-range intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, with a range of 5,000 kilometers. It forms the backbone of India's land-based nuclear deterrent. Developed by Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Propulsion. The missile uses a 3-stage, solid-fuel propulsion system. Launching platform. It is launched from a canisterized platform. Technology. It is equipped with multiple independently targetable reentry vehicle, MIRV, technology, which would allow a single missile to deliver multiple warheads at different targets, dramatically enhancing its strategic effectiveness. Star missile. Context. Recently, India's Star, supersonic target, missile has drawn attention for boosting homegrown defense technology and improving military training. About Star missile purpose. Indigenous high-speed target missile for training Indian armed forces, simulates realistic enemy threats for interception practice. Not intended for combat. Developer. Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Technical features, propulsion, 2-stage system, solid booster rocket, for quick liftoff. Liquid fuel ramjet, LFRJ for sustained supersonic flight. Speed, Mach 1.8 to 2.5. Altitude range, 100 meters, 10 kilometers. Operational range, 55 to 175 kilometers. Dvani missile. Context: DRDO is preparing to test the Dvani hypersonic missile. About Dvani missile type, hypersonic glide vehicle, HGV, launched to extreme altitude, glides at hypersonic speed with high maneuverability. Developer, Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Speed, Mach 5, is almost equal to 7,400 kilometers per hour. Range, 6,000 to 10,000 kilometers, nearly double that of Agni-V. Deployment timeline, expected by 2029 to 30, post-successful crews. Key technologies: scramjet propulsion and thermal shielding, based on hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle. Ultra-high temperature ceramic composites for heat protection, up to 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Celsius. Stealth shaping and blended wing body design for radar evasion and glide stability. Anant Shastra. Context: the Indian Army has signed a contract with Bharat Electronics Limited (BEL) for the development and supply of the Anant Shastra air defense system. About Anant Shastra type, indigenous quick reaction surface-to-air missile, QRSAM system. Developers, designed by DRDO in partnership with Bharat Electronics Limited (BEL) and Bharat Dynamics Limited (BDL). Capabilities: highly mobile and agile, with an operational range of approximately 30 kilometers. Integration: can operate in coordination with MRSAM, Akash, Spider, and Sudarshan S-400 air defense systems. Deployment: plan for deployment along India's western and northern borders upon approval. Weapons/systems in news, world, X-Guard fiber optic towed decoy, FOED, system. Context: during Operation Sindoor, the IF reportedly deployed Israel's AI-enabled X-Guard fiber optic towed decoy, FOED, system. About X-Guard FOED system type, AI-enabled towed decoy for fighter aircraft, developed by Israel. Purpose: protects aircraft from radar-guided missiles by mimicking the aircraft's radar cross-section, velocity, and spectral signature. Deployment: trails behind the aircraft, acting as an expendable shield that emits jamming signals across multiple radar bands. Tayfun Block 4. Context: Turkey recently unveiled its first hypersonic missile. Ballistic missile, the Tayfun Block 4 in Istanbul. About Tayfun Block 4 missile type, a hypersonic ballistic missile capable of flying at speeds above Mach 5. Developer, designed and built by Roketsan, a leading Turkish defense company. Range, can strike targets up to 800 kilometers, with future plans to extend it to 1,000 kilometers. Key features: exceptional speed, maneuverability, and long-range precision. Flamingo missile. Context: Ukraine recently unveiled a new cruise missile named Flamingo. About Flamingo missile developer, designed and built by Firepoint Defense Company in Ukraine. Type: a long-range, ground-launched cruise missile. Range, can travel up to 3,000 kilometers. Speed, reaches up to 900 kilometers per hour. Significance: marks Ukraine's first indigenous heavy cruise missile, showcasing its growing long-range strike capability. Exercises in News Exercise Talisman. Type: biennial multinational exercise led by Sabre 2025. Australia and US since 2005. Aim: enhanced joint readiness, multi-domain operations, and coalition security. 2025 edition, 11th largest so far, 35,000 personnel from 19 countries plus 3 observers. Participants: US, Australia, Canada, Fiji, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Japan, Netherlands, NZ, Norway, PNG, Philippines, Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Tonga, UK. Observers: Malaysia, Vietnam. Venue: across Australia, Queensland, the Northern Territory and offshore ranges, and Papua New Guinea, first time outside Australia. Exercise bold type: India-Singapore Joint Military Exercise Kurukshetra 2025. Since 2005. 2025 edition, 14th, to be held at Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Aim: enhance interoperability and joint training under UN mandate, boost defense ties. Contingents: 42 Singapore Armored Regiment and Indian Army's Mechanized Infantry Regiment. Exercise specific type: biennial submarine rescue exercise. Reach 2025. Host and participants: hosted by Singapore, with 40+ nations participating or observing. Location: Harbour Phase in Singapore, Sea Phase in the South China Sea. India's participation: India is participating in Exercise Pacific Reach 2025, XBR 25, under the Eastern Fleet Command. Exercise Bright Star 2025. A multilateral tri-service exercise hosted by Egypt with the United States since 1980. It is held biennially. 2023 edition. The 2023 edition included India and multiple participating nations. Exercise Amog Fury. Conducted by Sapta Shakti Command, Indian Army location, Mahajan Field Firing Ranges, Dar Desert, Rajasthan. Purpose: to evaluate combat effectiveness, coordination, and operational readiness under realistic battle conditions. Exercise Siam. The Indian Army carried out Exercise Siam Prahar. Prahar in Arunachal Pradesh. Objective: to test and validate the use of drones in tactical operations under battlefield-like conditions. Significance: assisted in developing new tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs, for combining drone intelligence with conventional firepower, joint targeting, and rapid decision-making in dynamic operational scenarios. Exercise Zapad. India took part in the Joint Military Exercise Zapad 2025, organized by Russia and Belarus, and held in Russia. Background: initiated in 1999, Zapad is one of the largest military exercises conducted by Russia. Since 2009, it has been organized once every 4 years. Nature: a large-scale, multilateral exercise focusing on joint operations and strategic preparedness. Objective: designed to test combat readiness and defensive capabilities against external threats. Features: involves advanced military platforms and training, including systems capable of delivering nuclear-capable weapons, such as Russia's hypersonic Zircon missile.